Do you ever wonder how China did it? How did a country of farmers transform into a global superpower in just 30 years? The speed of this development shocks the world. Skyscrapers built in weeks, bridges connecting overnight. Economists will talk to you about policy, foreign investment, but they often miss the most fundamental engine that drives this machine. The secret weapon isn't technology, it is human labor. To get 1 billion people to move as one, to get them to work with this terrifying efficiency, you need more than just bodies. You need a mindset. You need a culture where the collective goal overrides individual voice. You need obedience. Hello, my name's Cheryl. As a born and raised Chinese, today I want to review the mystery of why Chinese people tend to be more obedient. Do you ever notice the Chinese coworker that never speaks up in a meeting? Or that Chinese classmates in your project that stays silent and agrees to every single ideas? This is not a coincidence. It is a societal culture. We all grew up in a system that trains people from the moment we were born to follow the rules, to stay in lines, and to never question authority. So why are Chinese people obedient? Is it fear? Is it nature? Or are we just a different kind of species? No, it is actually a system that was designed 1,300 years ago. And it starts in the classroom. From a young age, Chinese kids were taught that there is a right answer for everything. And the right answer is God. And where does that right answer lie? It is everything written in a textbook. The goal of learning isn't to understand the context of that history and form our own understanding of it, but to remember exactly what the textbook tells you. When you deviate from the textbook, you are simply wrong. You will get punished by losing points in the exam. You may get called into the teacher's office until your thinking is corrected. And it is in this process you are gradually trained to view the world not through your own eyes, but through the lens of what has been carved into your brain by authority figures, teachers, parents, policymakers. Over time, kids learn that your success comes from doing the right thing, not necessarily thinking for themselves with a level of curiosity. Now compare that to the American education system. The goal is almost the opposite. In the US, getting the right facts in the exam is still very important. But teachers also evaluate on other things. Is your logic sound? Does your reasoning make sense? You can give an answer that's completely different from the textbook and you will still be rewarded for your reasoning, logic, creativity, and participation. Throughout our lecturing experience in Chinese school, it's mostly just teachers talking. Kids just listen and take notes. And in America, students are more encouraged to speak up, to ask questions, debate ideas. Group discussions, projects, and presentations encourage them to develop their own ideas and to learn to express themselves and speak confidently. So why is our fundamental goal so different from each other? Let's go a little deeper to understand how our modern Chinese education system was shaped. And to understand that, we need to go back to the ancient Imperial Exams system, Keju. Keju started in Sui Dynasty and shaped our culture for over 1,300 years. Imagine you are an emperor in ancient China. Now you have a big problem. You have a massive territory, a giant population, and constant threats of internal rebellion. How do you govern this giant emperor as one stable, coherent place? So you need a specific person to run it, right? You don't want rebels, you don't want disruptors. You need people who are loyal to you. You need people who are loyal, obedient, stable, and predictable. So they created the exam. Before this, power was hereditary. If you were born rich, you ruled. But the exam changed everything. Suddenly, a farmer's son can become a powerful government official if he passed the test. But what did the test actually measure? It tested your knowledge of Confucian classics. It tested your ethics according to the state. It tested your ability to write essays that perfectly aligned with the emperor's ideology. The exam was a filter. It screened out people who question authority, challenge hierarchy, showed unconventional thinking, and believed in individualism. If you're a rebel thinker, you failed. You held no power. If you conformed, you succeeded. You ran the country. Fun fact, China is one of the few ancient civilizations that kept reunifying for thousands of years. Why? Because of this exam. It turned millions of brilliant minds into standardized thinkers who all believe in the same central authority. The Emperor exam was abolished in 1905, just before the Qing dynasty fell. But did it really end? The mindset it created, that success comes from doing the right thing and obeying authority, it didn't just vanish. It migrated. It moved into our modern schools, it moved into Gaokao, and it moved into our workplaces. This brings us back to the beginning of our video. Skyscrapers built in weeks, and terrifying Chinese efficiency is based on a system of people who don't question but execute the right answer. In the West, progress is often slowed by debate, by checks and balances, by the friction of differing opinions. Here, that friction is removed. The machine runs frictionless because every cog spins in the exact direction it was told to. So when the world looks like China and asks, how did they build that bridge in 48 hours? The answer isn't just concrete and steel. It is 13 years of conditioning that taught people that the greatest virtue isn't to stand out, but to fit in and get the job done. But here's the truth. There are many Chinese people like me who innately have a voice. We are realizing that we're no longer in the emperor court. We understand that everything in life is a choice. We get to decide what to believe in. We get to decide which environment to stay in. And most importantly, we learn new skills. Learning when to shut up, but also when to speak up. I hope this video helps you understand more about China and the mindset behind Chinese speed. In my next video, I'm going to debunk the myths about China that most foreigners believe. For example, is it true that Chinese people eat everything? Is it true that every Chinese person knows Kung Fu? So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Give this video a like and I'll see you next time.